Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. And you are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the DCEU Daily. It's actually Tuesday night here, but this will go out on Wednesday morning. I'm so pumped. I just finished recording a DCEU news, breaking news video about this breaking news about what's going on with The Flash. They've got director Andy Muschietti from It movie directing The Flash now, and Christina Hodgson penning the script. Now, when I read this, you're going to be surprised to hear a few other things that are changing, but let's just read the article. This is ever so exciting. So let's give it a read. Flash shocker. Its director Andy Muschietti in talks to tackle DC movie exclusive. Wow, I can't believe this. This is massive news. Christina Hodgson, who wrote Bumblebee and Birds of Prey, is being eyed to write the script. Ezra Miller, meanwhile, remains attached to play the fastest man alive. Warner Brothers' Flash movie project has been jolted by lightning. Andy Muschietti, the filmmaker behind the hit Stephen King adaptation It and the upcoming It Chapter 2, is in talks to direct the action-adventure project based on the DC Comics superhero. His partner and sister, Barbara Muschietti, will produce, joining Michael Disco on the project. These are all people from New Line Cinema. We know Walter Hamada, who was a massive part of New Line Cinema, now runs the DCEU, right? This is massive. This is happening. This is Walter Hamada basically taking control. And there's more to this article. This is very exciting. John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein, who wrote drafts of the script and were slated to direct the project, have moved on. However, Ezra Miller, the actor who has long been attached to star as the fleet-footed hero, remains on board to star. In the further development, the studio won't be moving forward with the script Miller co-wrote with comics author Grant Morrison. Now that's interesting because in my DCEU breaking news video, I assumed that maybe Christina Hodgson will be adapting that script, but she's not. So that's very interesting. So where are we? Instead, Warners will hire Christina Hodgson to scribe behind Bumblebee and the studio's upcoming DC movie, the Margot Robbie-fronted Birds of Prey, to tackle the script. The goal is to be in prep by January 2020. Now, you remember the original shooting date was for November, so this is very interesting. And we had the article from the Wrap earlier talking about Ezra Miller still being the Flash and starting to film that once his role in Fantastic Beasts 3 was done with. But January 2020, I don't know. I can't see him finishing with Fantastic Beasts 3 by then. But I think The Flash is more of a priority for Warner Brothers right now. There's no question. As soon as they can get filming, the better as far as they're concerned. This is off the Richter scale. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Deal-making has not yet begun, stress insiders. Official offers are expected to go out shortly. Right, let's get this clear. These are all people from New Line Cinema who are already working for the company. This is going to get done really quickly, and you're going to see a lot of moving, and you might even get, because I think that Ezra's going to do an interview with a YouTuber. So I think that's where he'll kind of start talking about things. So, as I say, very exciting, but don't be too concerned that no deals have been done yet. These are people who are going to take these parts, be developing this movie. It's happening, and it's all going to be happening very quickly. This is so exciting. This film has gone through so much redevelopment because the different people who have been running the DCEU. But this is Walter Hamada's game now, and he's playing it the right way. This is amazing. So, Goldstein and Daly's exit is described as voluntary. Yeah, right. According to multiple sources, the duo have been with the project since January 2018, writing the script and developing it to direct. At one point, the project seemed like it was heading towards a start date in late 2019. Yes, that was going to be November. But months of tensions over creative differences bogged down the project, with the duo deciding it was time to move on and find new opportunities. Basically, they were moved on because Ezra Miller just was not happy with what they were doing. They had to go. Ezra Miller is more than an actor to Warner Brothers. they really value him and they were never going to sacrifice him for these directors' vision. I'm glad he's still the Flash, but even though his script isn't the one that's going to go ahead, you can bet your bottom dollar it's going to be a much more compelling, darker story. Of course, there'll be gags and stuff, but I'm really excited. The tension surfaced around what kind of take was the best fit for a Flash movie. Miller, who has played the character since 2016 Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, favoured a darker approach, while Goldstein and Daly, the duo who wrote Spider-Man Homecoming and were behind the comedy hit Game Night, wanted the opposite. The two sides had been working on compromises since last year, but Miller then made the unusual move to take it upon himself to pen his own script, enlisting the aid of comic superstar Morrison. That script was submitted to the studio in March. By May, the studio rejected his approach, but concluded that Miller should still remain the Scarlet Speedster. So obviously, then, for that to be the case, they compromised with Ezra Miller and said, it will have the tone you want. We will be faithful to the comics. So, as I say, extremely awesome. Muschietti hails from the horror world. Another horror director. This is, and made his feature debut with Mama, the 2013 thriller that starred Jessica Chastain. His adaptation of It, released in 2017, was a critical and commercial hit, making over $700 million worldwide. Warner's is high on the sequel, with the title being the only movie the studio will be showcasing at 2019 San Diego Comic-Con. With Muschietti being chosen for Flash, the studio is clearly pleased. With the filmmaker too. Absolutely, why wouldn't they be? If a deal is made, it will be made. Muschietti will be the latest horror filmmaker to cross over to directing a DC movie after going through the trenches of Sister Division. New Line James Wan directed Aquaman, a billion-dollar hit, while David Sandberg, who directed Annabelle Creation and Lights Out, made the most recent DC hit, Shazam. Jaime Collet-Serra, who got his start with the movies such as House of Wax and Orphan, is attached to helm Black Adam. Look, the creatives they're using, this is just really amazing. Muschietti is repped by WME. Hodgson is repped by CAA Kaplan Piranha Entertainment and Ziffer Brittenham. Wow. Look, as I say, this is unprecedented. I think this is the most happy news I've probably had since I've been doing the DCEU Daily. We've all been waiting for this to be settled. We all want a Flash movie. And, this morning I did a very sad, somber video about how Henry Cavill is definitely out as Superman. And after I did that video, I fucking cried. I was watching Man of Steel, and I can't believe we'll never see his majestic Superman again. So to be able to bring you this really exciting news has warmed my heart. I love DC. I love films, I love TV shows, I love superheroes, and I loved Ezra Miller's version of The Flash in Justice League. Despite all the issues, he did a really, really good job. He's such a good talent, and I'm glad he got his way. I'm glad we're going to do a proper movie. Look, Goldstein and his mates movie, which was basically going to be a kind of Back to the Future type thing, sounded really interesting and fun, but we don't want the DCEU to go down that Marvelized kind of situation. So I'm happy Ezra got his own way, but I want to know what you think. Are you excited about this move? Are you excited that Walter Hamada has got his grip on the DCEU now, and he's putting the people in charge of these films he wants to put in charge of? Christina Hodgson is such a talented, creative, this director, 2 It movies. We've seen the first one. It's so awesome. These are really talented people who know how to make real films. Well, I'm buzzing. I'm really excited to be able to bring this to you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. I need to lie down. Too excited.